So let us now we're going to learn the second type of chemical reaction, that is called decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction means what? The word itself giving you some meaning. Decompose. You know what is by decompose? Decompose nothing but split up. Split one compound will be split up into two or more product like this. AB will be like example, one compound like H2O will be split up into hydrogen and oxygen. If any compound CaCO3 will be split up into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. If any compound like NaCl will be split up into sodium and the chlorine gas. So this is called what? A decomposition reaction, where a single compound will be split up into two or more simpler substance. That is called decomposition reaction. So the reaction, what is the decomposition reaction? A reaction in which a compound split up into two or more simpler products. Okay, right? So a reaction in which a compound, a single compound, a compound split up into two or more, simpler substances are known as decomposition reaction. Okay, and this decomposition reaction will be carried out by the heat, light and electricity. So the decomposition reaction takes place only if they will absorb the energy. Energy will be absorbed in the form of what? Heat, light and electricity. There is one condition is there. That is what? The decomposition reaction is carried out by applying heat, light will be any light, sunlight or bulb light, and electricity. Okay, so this reaction will be carried out by the heat, light and electricity. That is why the decomposition reaction, all decomposition reaction are called endothermic reaction. Why it is called endothermic reaction? Because the decomposition reaction is absorb the heat, light and electricity. That is why endothermic reaction nothing but what? The reaction in which the heat is absorbed or energy is absorbed. If the reaction in which energy is absorbed, then such reactions are called endothermic reaction. So I can say that the decomposition reaction is called what? Endothermic reaction. Why? Because of that in this decomposition reaction the energy is absorbed. So energy in the form of heat, light or electricity will be absorbed. The decomposition reaction, suppose the decomposition reaction, if the decomposition reaction is carried out by heat, then such reactions are called, if the decomposition reaction is carried out by the heats, are known as, anybody know that? What is called? That is called a thermal decomposition. If the reaction is carried out by the heat, is called a thermal decomposition. So there is if the decomposition reaction, suppose the decomposition reaction is carried out by light, then it is called electrolytic. No, sorry, it is a light. Sunlight, it is light. It is called a photolytic decomposition. It is called a photolytic decomposition, not electrolytic. Electrolytic nothing but it should be carried out by the electricity. If the decomposition reaction is carried out by electricity, then it is called electrolytic decomposition. Then it is called electrolytic decomposition. The decomposition reaction is carried out by the electricity. If the decomposition reaction is carried out by the electricity, then it is called electrolytic decomposition. Now we are going to learn there is a first type of decomposition reaction, that is called thermal decomposition. Okay, so thermal decomposition nothing but the decomposition reaction is carried out by the heat. So we will learn some of the example. The first example here, when calcium carbonate, you know the formula, that is calcium carbonate. When the calcium carbonate is heated strongly, when we heat the calcium carbonate strongly, then it decomposes to form, it decomposes to form calcium oxide. Then it decomposes to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. That is CaCO3. Give rise to heat. Here should write here heat because we are heating. So here will takes place. Here will give calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. This is called calcium oxide. Okay, and this is called calcium carbonate, and the last product is carbon dioxide. So this is the first thermal decomposition reaction, where the reaction will be carried out by the heat. And there is if you do not want to write a heat, then you can put this symbol also, this one symbol, this triangle symbol you can put. Okay, this one delta also we can call. Okay, heat, or this symbol that is called a delta or triangle shape, that is the symbol of heat. So calcium carbonate is also called a limestone. The calcium carbonate is also called a limestone, and calcium oxide is called a lime. Okay, so there is another names of this calcium oxide. Ferrous sulfate formula is FeSO4. So here we have when ferrous sulfate, FeRROUS sulfate, SULPHAT, ferrous sulfate is heated strongly. When the ferrous sulfate is heated strongly, then it decomposes to form what it form? It form ferric oxide. Sulfur dioxide, as well as sulfur trioxide also will form. Three product will get here when the ferrous sulfate is heated. FeSO4, that is called ferrous sulfate. And what is the color of ferrous sulfate? You know, the ferrous sulfate color is green. Okay, green color, it is a green color. So when the ferrous sulfate is heated strongly, what will happen now? First it will be converted into white color, and then it will be converted into the brown color because of formation of what? Ferric oxide. So what is the formula of ferric oxide? That is a Fe2O3. That is the ferric oxide. And what is the color will become here? Brown color. This ferric oxide color is brown color. Okay, and plus we'll get here sulfur dioxide plus sulfur trioxide. This sulfur dioxide having some pungent smell. Okay, you will feel some pungent smell for the sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide, some pungent smell will come when you burn because of burning of sulfur, there is a formation of sulfur dioxide, so you feel some smell also. Okay, this is a ferrous sulfate crystal which is green color. When we heat the ferrous sulfate crystal, it gives the ferric oxide, which is the brown color. So green color will be changes to the brown color, as well as we'll also get sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Actually what has happened, this ferrous sulfate is actually in the form of crystal, the ferrous sulfate crystal. What is this ferrous sulfate crystal? The ferrous sulfate crystal is nothing but is having some water molecules. So ferrous sulfate crystal formula is 7H2O. Okay, actually this is the formula of ferrous sulfate. When we heat the ferrous sulfate, what will happen? This water, 7 molecules of water will be loose by the ferrous sulfate. When we heat the ferrous sulfate crystal, the 7 molecules of water will be loose. It means it will be evaporate, so color will be changed to the white. Again, if you go for further heating, again this white color will be changes into what? Brown color. Okay, brown color. So the first ferrous sulfate crystal will change to the white color, and then white to the brown color. So that is why we only will write here brown color, because of formation of what? Ferric oxide. The white color will get only if those water molecules will be evaporate. When we heat that, then the water molecules will be evaporate, so the color will be changed. Green color will change to the white, and further heating of ferrous sulfate, the color will be changed brown color because of formation of ferric oxide. Thermal decomposition, third example. Okay, the third example of thermal decomposition is lead nitrate. Okay, lead nitrate. You know what is the formula of lead nitrate? So when the lead nitrate, when the lead nitrate is heated strongly, when lead nitrate is heated strongly, when lead nitrate heated strongly, it decomposes to form. It decomposes to form. What will form? It form lead oxide. It form lead oxide. Okay, and nitrogen dioxide also will produce nitrogen dioxide. Okay, and oxygen. Okay, so lead nitrate formula. What is the lead nitrate formula? The lead
PbNO3 taken twice.
PbNO3 taken twice.
Yes, correct. PbNO3 taken twice. When we heat this lead nitrate, so what is the color of lead nitrate? You know what is the color? The color of lead nitrate is colorless. Lead nitrate color is colorless. So lead nitrate, when we heat, it gives lead oxide. It gives the lead oxide. And what is the color of lead oxide? Lead oxide color, it is a yellow color. Yellow color. Okay, and there is a nitrogen dioxide. Okay, nitrogen dioxide, which is the brown fumes. Okay, this is the brown color. The brown fumes will be produced, brown fumes plus oxygen. Okay, so here we'll get the lead nitrate. When we heat, it gives the lead oxide, which is yellow color, and nitrogen dioxide, that is a brown fumes will be formed, and that is the oxygen gas also will be produced. Oxygen gas also will be produced. So the lead nitrate will be colorless. Lead nitrate is a colorless, and the lead oxide is yellow color. Okay, yellow color. So this is the third example, where is a lead nitrate is decomposed to form lead oxide and nitrogen dioxide as well as oxygen. So here I will show you the color of this. Here we have the color. See here, if you see this one, lead nitrate. Okay, you see lead nitrate. Here we have taken the lead nitrate. Lead nitrate we have taken. There is a PbNO3 taken twice. Okay, and we are heating in the boiling test tube. Okay, so what will happen? There is a formation of that is the formation of lead oxide. There is a formation of what? Lead oxide. Here you can see this is the lead oxide, PbO, which is the yellow in color, and here you can see that this is the colorless lead nitrate is a colorless. When we heat this lead nitrate, it decomposes to give the yellow color, that is called a lead oxide, as well as you will produce the brown fumes of nitrogen dioxide. You can see this one is what? Fumes. That is like a gas. Okay, the brown fume, the color will be there, that is brown color fumes will be formed. That is why it will be visible to you. The gas will be colorless, means it will not be visible, but this gas will be visible to you. Why? Because it is a brown color. That is why it is a brown fumes of nitrogen dioxide. So here what is the reaction will come here? Lead nitrate PbNO3 taken twice when we heat, so that is a formation of lead oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen. So this is the colorless. Lead nitrate is colorless and the lead oxide is yellow color, and the nitrogen dioxide is what? Brown fumes. Brown fumes. So that is the reaction. The three reaction we have learned here, that is all will be carried out by the heat. All will be carried out by the heat, so then only the reaction will takes place. So all this reaction are carried out by the heat, that is why it is called a thermal decomposition reaction. So decomposition here is called what? Photolytic decomposition. Photolytic decomposition. Photolytic decomposition. Photolytic decomposition example. There are two example only. Okay, very simple example. The first example, that is a sunlight will needed here. What is required here? Photolighting, nothing but sunlight. Okay, so here let us consider I am taking here china dish. This is the china dish. In this china dish I have taken silver chloride. Silver chloride. What is the formula of silver chloride? AgCl. AgCl I have taken. So here I have the sunlight. Okay, this is the sunlight. So sunlight, when the rays will be, sun rays will, when falling on the silver chloride, that time what will happen? The chlorine gas will be evaporate. The chlorine gas will be evaporate, and in the china disk left over silver. The silver will be left over. So this reaction will be takes place in the presence of sunlight. That is why it is called what? Photolytic decomposition. Photolytic decomposition. What will happen? So in this reaction, so the first example for this is when silver chloride is exposed, when the silver chloride is exposed to light, or we can say it's exposed to sunlight. When it is exposed to sunlight, it decomposes. It decomposes to give. What it will give? Decompose to give silver and chlorine gas. Silver and chlorine gas. So here we have silver chloride AgCl in the give rise to what? Sunlight. In the presence of sunlight, we'll get here Ag plus Cl2. I have to balance this one, so 2 AgCl. Here I should add 2 Ag. So here is, this is called a silver chloride, and here you will get the silver, and here we will get chlorine gas. This is the chlorine gas. So in that the reaction will be takes place. And remember that silver chloride, which is color, white color. Silver chloride color is what? White. Second example is also same. Second example is also same. Only in the place of silver chloride, we have to take silver bromide. When silver bromide, okay, when the silver bromide is exposed to sunlight, when it is exposed to sunlight, it decomposes. It decomposes to give silver and bromine gas. Simple one. See this one, silver and bromine gas. So this reaction also is easy. Only these two reactions is very easy. Why? Because this both the reaction are based on the silver chloride and silver bromide. So here we have like AgBr. In the presence of sunlight, it decomposes to give silver plus bromine gas Br2. So here 2 AgBr, here 2 Ag. So this is called a silver bromide. Okay, and this is silver, and here you have bromine gas. Okay, and these two reaction, okay, there is one more note you remember. Sometime they will ask in your exam, what is that note? You know that these two reaction are useful for some photography. What is that photography? That is black and white photography. Okay, the black and white photography. So these two reaction, these two decomposition reaction. These two decomposition reaction are used in black and white photography. Black and white photography. So if they ask which reaction is used for black and white photography, then you have to say that silver chloride and the silver bromide, these two reactions are actually used in the black and white photography. Nothing but if you want to produce the black and white photography, then you require the silver chloride and silver bromide. Electrolytic decomposition. Electrolytic decomposition. Electrolytic decomposition, one of the very important reaction. Electrolytic decomposition. The first one is called electrolysis of water. Electrolysis of water. What is by electrolysis of water? Electrolysis of water, nothing but water. The water is decomposed when we pass the electricity. When we pass electricity to the acidified water, the water will be decomposed to give hydrogen and oxygen, and that is called electrolysis. The any time any word will be used electrolysis, then you have to understand that we require the electricity. Okay, when any electricity is passing through the any of the compound, that compound will be decomposed to what? Hydrogen and oxygen, means two simpler product will be formed. Example, NaCl, sodium chloride. When we pass the electricity to the sodium chloride, then it decomposes to what? Sodium and chlorine gas. So this electricity, when we pass the electricity, such reactions are called what? Electrolytic decomposition. So let us write first example, that is electrolysis of water. So what will happen? This electrolysis of water, when electricity is passed through water, when electricity passed through what? Acidified water. When electricity is passed through water, acidified water. Yeah. So here we can write when electric current, when electric current is passed through, when electric current is passed through acidified water, then it decomposes to give, what? It decomposes to give hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Okay, example, now here we have H2O. Electricity is passed. Here electricity is passed. So here we'll get hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas. Okay, so here you have to balance this equation. So this is here, write 2H2O, here 2H2. So this is the answer here. See, so this is the electrolysis of water. Not only this is if you want to decompose sodium chloride also, you have to pass the electricity. When electricity is passed through the sodium chloride solution, it decomposes to give sodium and chlorine gas. Electricity should be passed, then only the reaction will be takes place. So this is the very important reaction, and they'll always ask in your board exam, explain the electrolysis of water. There is one activity is given in your textbook. That activity also we have to do that, and we have to draw the diagram also. In your exam 3 marks question, they will ask explain the electrolysis of water, means how you are decomposing the water with the help of electricity. That you have to explain with the diagram and with construction. So let us now, we will learn that activity, how you can able to decompose the water. So let us learn about the activity of electrolysis of water. So in this activity, let us see first what we required. Okay, the first we required the what we can call as a mug, plastic mug will require, and we required two carbon electrodes. Okay, and we required rubber cork. We required a rubber cork. Okay, and we required a 6-volt battery. 6-volt battery also we required. Mug to carbon, that is plastic mug. There is a plastic mug. Okay, 2 carbon electrodes, rubber cork, 6-volt battery, and a wire. There is electric copper wire. Okay, and we require the 2 test tube. 2 test tube we required. Okay, and we require water and sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. So these are the requirement we have to do this activity. Plastic mug, 2 carbon electrodes, rubber cork, 6-volt battery, electric wire, nothing but copper wire, 2 test tube, water, and sulfuric acid. So let us, I will draw the diagram now here first. Okay, so diagram, for this diagram I must go for first, there is a mug, plastic mug. So in the plastic mug, I'll just show you, I already made the diagram for you. So here we have the plastic mug. See here, this is the diagram. Okay, so here what is have here, see this diagram. Here we have the plastic mug. This is the plastic mug. Okay, this is the plastic mug. In that plastic mug we have to drill 2 holes. Okay, drill 2 holes, like the 2 holes we have to drill here. Okay, and in this hole you have to fix this rubber cork. Okay, this you have rubber cork we have to fix, and in this 2 holes we have to fix this carbon electrode. You can see this is the 2 carbon electrode. Here carbon electrodes are there. These 2 are the carbon electrodes. Okay, these are the 2 carbon electrodes. See, I'll show you. See the diagram. First what we should take, here should take the, that is the plastic mug. Okay, and you have to put the 2 holes. In the 2 holes you have to put, and you have to fix this rubber cork in this 2 holes, and in these 2 holes you have to insert carbon electrode. Like this carbon electrode you have to insert. So this carbon electrodes are connected to what? Battery. So here 1 carbon electrode is connected to the, see here we have the battery, 6-volt battery. 6-volt battery here we have. So this one end is a negative terminal. So this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal. Okay, so this carbon electrodes are connected to the positive terminal and this carbon electrode connected to the negative terminal. That is why this is called a cathode. Cathode means negative and this positive means what? Anode. Anode. So what we have to take now here? 2 test tube you have to take. Okay, first water, this plastic mug you have to fill with water. This plastic mug we have to fill with water, and also you have to add here you have to add water plus we have to add what? Sulfuric acid. Okay, sulfuric acid. That is why it is called water, acidified water. That is why we are called what? Acidified water. Acidified water. Why? Because in this water acid is also present. That is the sulfuric acid. Now what we should do? You have to take the 2 test tube. Okay, 2 test tube you have to take. So this 2 test tube you have to fill with water, completely filled with water. Okay, when you will take the test tube, this should be completely filled with water. Now what we have to do? This test tube we have to invert. You have to invert to this electrode, like this inversion, like this invert. You have to invert the test tube in these 2 electrodes. Okay, in these 2 electrodes you have to invert. Okay, little bit big I will draw that. Okay, here you have to invert this test tube which is filled with, completely filled with water. We have to invert. You have to invert on the electrode like this. So what will happen now? This is done now. So what will happen now? We have to switch on now. We have to switch on, so the electric pass to this electrode, and the after some time we will observe that the bubbles will be formed. Okay, the bubbles will formed in both the test tube. So what will happen now? In one of the test tube, the water level will be decreases. The water level will be decreases. I will show you once again here. The water level will be decreases here. Okay, the water level, let us consider water level is up to here only. the water level is here. Okay, in another test tube, water level will be increases. In another test tube, water level is increases. Okay, so here the water level increases. In one of the test tube, water level is decreases. So this free space, what are the free space, you can see here what are the free space. In this we have the gases. So here you will get the hydrogen gas, and in this space you will get the oxygen gas. So when the electricity is passed in one of the test tube, the where hydrogen gas produced, no, that level will, the water level will be decreases in the test tube, and where the oxygen gas produced, no, in that the water level will be increases in the test tube. It means this portion you will get the two volumes of hydrogen you will get, so that required more space, no, that is why the water level decreases. So two volume will get, and here only will get what, one volume of oxygen gases will be produced in the second test tube. So this is what is the, here you can see this diagram, hydrogen having two volumes and oxygen having one volume. That is why here the space is more. You can see the space is more because here hydrogen gas is more. Hydrogen gas, how much more? There is a double. Two volume, nothing but it is double than the oxygen. It is double than the oxygen. That is why it is given two volumes. If you see here oxygen gas, there is a little space. There is actually water. It is a half of the hydrogen. If the hydrogen gas is like 50 grams, suppose, then the oxygen will be how much gram? 25 gram. That is why it is a hydrogen gas will be double and oxygen gas will be half. So in that way the hydrogen gas and oxygen gas will be produced in both the test tube. So here you can see that hydrogen gas is produced at the cathode. Hydrogen gas will be produced at cathode and oxygen gas produced at anode. And hydrogen is double than the oxygen gas. Okay, hydrogen gas is double than the oxygen gas. So important question, in always they will ask in your exam, there is important question that is also available in your textbook. What is that question? See that question, very important question, that always they will ask in your exam. That is what, why is the amount of gas collected in one of the test tube, inactivity of electrolysis of water, electrolysis of what? Water is double of the amount collected in the other. And they are asking what are the name of this gas. Okay, so have you understood this question? I should explain this question. See, what is this question about? As you know that in this electrolysis of water, two gases will be produced. What are the two gases will be produced?
Hydrogen and oxygen.
Hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. And you also know that in one of the test tube, the one gas is double than the other gas. So which gas is double?
Hydrogen.
Still it is on your screen only.
Yes sir, hydrogen.
Which is that hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas will be double than the oxygen gas. So they are asking why this will happen. Why the hydrogen gas is double than the oxygen gas? They are asking the question. The question now you understood. There are two gases will be produced during the electrolysis of water. There is one is called hydrogen gas and one is the oxygen gas. And you also know that the hydrogen gas will be double than the oxygen gas. So why the double will produce the hydrogen gas in the during electrolysis of water? That is the answer you have to write. So answer is very simple. We know the water formula. The water formula is what? H2O. Okay, what is meant by H2O? H2O nothing but there are two parts of hydrogen. We have two parts of hydrogen and only one parts of
oxygen.
Oxygen. So what I can say that the hydrogen and oxygen are present in the water in the form of 2:1. The hydrogen and oxygen are present in water in the ratio 2:1. So during electrolysis, the hydrogen gas will be double than the water oxygen gas. Because of this reason, in one of the test tube, we will get the gas double than the other. Very simple answer you have to write here. So I'll just writing this answer. If you have any doubt, you can ask. So here we have the answer. See, as the just now what I explained here, like writing. See, water H2O contain two parts of what? Contain two parts of hydrogen, and one part of oxygen. Okay, so I can say that therefore amount of hydrogen and oxygen produced during electrolysis of water is in the ratio. What is the ratio? 2:1. Is in the ratio 2:1. So what has happened now here? So during electrolysis, what will happen? Since hydrogen gas goes to one test tube, okay, and oxygen gas goes to another test tube. So because of this reason, what we can say, the amount of gas collected in one of the test tube is double the other. So I can say that the amount of gas, what will come here? Amount of gas collected in one test tube is double the other test tube.